Okay. Many decades ago, my Aunt Jan was on the phone and she said about her niece, "Here comes LMA with her brood." Okay, and I think LMA had 3 or 4 kids. Okay, and Aunt Maud overheard that. And she thought brood was a put down to her daughter LMA. Now, Aunt Jan had chosen to remain childless, which apparently was a decision that she later regretted. And Aunt Maud believed that by using the term brood, she was demeaning Ella May for having had kids. And she was very deeply offended. And for years after that, she never spoke to Aunt Jan again because she was so offended by her having said, "Here comes Ella May with her brood." Okay. And Aunt Jan didn't even mean anything negative by it. She wasn't trying to say anything bad about Ella May. And you know something? Ella May wasn't offended by it. And I remember reading about actress Cloris Leachman and a description of her and her children, and the writer of that article, which was a complimentary article, said that Cloris Leachman felt her most important accomplishment was raising her brood. That's right, brood. It wasn't a put down. Okay, but that was making a mountain out of a molehill. Okay, that's a personal example. It seems to me that we as a society are doing that a lot. We have people, including children, who are homeless, who are food insecure, who are going through dumpsters for food. And yet we're more concerned because somebody made a verbal gaffe and some millionaire or billionaire was offended because somebody said the wrong thing. We spend more time on, people, somebody used the wrong pronoun for this person or that person, and, you can't always remember, somebody's pronouns. You can't always get them right. You look at somebody and you might forget. And you might not even be intending to offend the person. You just might make a mistake. Or you might speak off the cuff. What I'm trying to say is really, is it worth all that attention compared to unemployment and homelessness and suicides and, and hunger? We have real substantive problems. And this is especially true when you have this enormous gap we have between all these billionaires living in these mansions that are basically little villages. Do they have a bunch of empty rooms? you know, and then you have people who, you know, other, people who, if they can survive at all, if they can get a roof over their heads, it's a little narrow trailer. And other people who have to try to sleep in a bathroom somewhere. We have real substantive problems. And yet we seem as, trivial minded and making a mountain out of a molehill as my Aunt Maud was about my Aunt Jan saying, "Here comes Ella May with her brood." Can we put things in perspective? Can we spend more time on things that really matter?